Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. This is that $50 Jonway, and when you saw it last I had the carburetor off and it was all taken apart, and I showed you how to take the jets out and so forth. Before anybody asks and says, hey, you forgot the idle circuit, the idle circuit does not have a needle valve on this one. It's not adjustable. This is known as one of those sealed carburetors. Right, they kind of ground the ends of the screws off for the ball. They really don't want you kind of messing with it. I showed you how to slot the screws to get it all apart. Anyhow, so I rebuilt the carburetor. Every once in a while somebody will ask what I use to clean out the jets on all the I guess they're called jets. So this is what I use. This is just a piece of yellow wire, and you guys could see I just kind of strip it back and then pull the individual strands, and I put that through all the holes on the jets, and then you kind of take the jet and you look out and turn it around to make sure you got light going through all the holes on the sides. Then you look in the end like that and you should see just a pinhole of light. So that's what I do with that. And then this is brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, basically the same. I just kind of spray that through everywhere. There was one of the jets, right? I just spray through all those holes, and basically any hole in the carburetor, I spray parts cleaner through it. Then you can blow it out with air. And what else do I do? I just make sure everything's gonna move, right? I make sure the slide is clean so it's not gonna hang up. There's nothing worse than rebuilding a carburetor and having the thing not idle down, and worse yet, stick wide open and get into trouble. By the way, when you take the carburetor slide out, make sure you line it up properly so that the slide goes all the way back in, or once again it'll start up and you'll get that surprise when the thing takes off like a horse that's been kicked. So that's not what you want it to do. Anyway, so I finished rebuilding it. Went to the wire harness, and this right here piece of the harness comes out of the engine, right? You can see the wires kind of coming out of the engine there on the flywheel side. So you take a look at it, and I keep telling you guys this, but just inside the box is 12 volts, is a spark coil, and is a 12 volt GY6 CDI unit. So to make this go, it's already got its 12 volts, it's already got its coil. All I need to do is hook up the pulse from the pulse generator, ground, and I have that extra lead to make sure there's a ground that goes to the case. That way I know the spark plug is grounded. I know that the ignition coil is grounded to the engine. That way all the spark could be used to make it spark. So let's see how I did. And I did cheat a little bit, because after doing all this, right, I want to make sure it runs before I try it for YouTube. But so there we are. Starts, runs. Right, I got no smoke. Actually, it sounds pretty good. You give it gas. And it was that easy. Well, I've also been playing around with it. I also discovered that the CD box that goes to this, it's either dead, it doesn't work, or it's configured differently than the standard one. I did a little wire job there, just to see if it was any good, and I couldn't get it to work. But when I swapped it with one from one of my standard wire harnesses, you know, one of those $13 pit bike ones, the thing fired up and ran on it. I'm still kind of going through the ignition system, the wiring system, to see exactly what I want to do with this. I think my my lean is I need an electric starter on this thing, right? There's no Kickstarter, there's no pull starter. If I don't have an electric starter, I'm not sure if I can push start this or not, but Harvey is not push starting 110 cc quad. I'm a little too old for that. So that means I am going to need a battery, and I'm going to have to mess with the charging system and the starter system and all the other trivia. While I'm messing with that, I can put in a 12-volt CDI, or I could stick with the pit bike. Right now, I think I'm leaning on sticking with the pit bike, and the reason why is it's cheap, right? That way I don't have to invest $13.50 in the pit bike ignition and then another $8 in a CDI and so forth. I think I'm just going to put the pit bike on this. So everyone, I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. So we went through the carburetor rebuild. There are 2 more parts to this. The next part is going through the electrical. Then I have to do something about a gas tank. That gas tank, I'm not sure if it's going to live. It's pretty nasty inside. It's the metal one right there. So I did order some red coat. So I guess I could go through the whole vinegar or acid cleanup, wash it out, and red coat it. But that's like spending $25 worth of red coat on a $50 quad. And by the way, if anybody has one of these broken, you really do need to figure out how to fix it yourself, because if you're paying $50 to $100 in shop time to work on it, I mean, you know, by the time you go through a carburetor rebuild, sort your way through the wiring, and get everything fired up. Once again, I don't know what your multiplier is for labor rate, but it adds up pretty quickly. You can easily put, you know, 5 to 10 hours into it, and if at $50 an hour for 10 hours, right, you're putting $500 into a $600 quad, not including parts. So, you know, I do it. It's a hobby. It's an amusement. It's something that, you know, keeps me out of the house. But if one actually, you know, had to make a living doing this, you get to keep a lot of these, because the person wouldn't pay the bill when all is said and done. They're like, I'm not giving you, you know, even if you charge $50 or $25 an hour, you're going to put $250 plus parts into a you know, a $500 quad that you can buy. Typically, you could buy these running around me in nice shape for, you know, $300 or less. So how much you going to put into one? Okay, I want to thank everyone for dropping by to watch, comment, and subscribe. Hope you loved this video, and if you didn't, please let me know why. Bye now.